Hey guys, and welcome back to Metroid Fusion. It's time to go hunting for a bunch of optional upgrades. Aren't you glad you get to talk over this, Hell Dragon?
Oh yeah, I'm having the thrill of my life, and I owe it all to you.
Nice, wonderful intro. You got anything we can discuss while Samus does her bounty huntery thing?
I can only imagine this would make a very bad tour if Samus were to give tours. Hello, we're going to tour all the locations where we can find upgrades today, and maybe find that energy tank I've been missing out since, fucking years ago, so let's get to it.
Yeah, you may as well collect all the upgrades while earning a bit of extra cash. Bounty huntering takes a lot of, excess cheddar. A little bit of extra cheese, if you will.
Even better, she's burning so many calories right now, because she has to run and jump everywhere. Well, I guess screw attacking, I wonder how many calories screw attacking burns up, because I imagine it's not that much compared to, say, running or platforming, but I don't know. I'm not a bounty hunter who has to do this.
Yeah, it seems like the suit is doing most of the work, and I don't know why I went around when I could just shoot through the walls with the wave beam. I guess some things are just kind of, instinctual.
Yeah, I would imagine it would have been ingrained in at this point, since you were kind of doing this stuff over and over to get a good take.
I had to redo this bit, because I did not see that thing in the upper left, the little hole that appears.
And again, get good arm exercises going on. This would be the greatest fitness program, I think, for particularly adventurous young women in the Metroid universe. You could totally sell this on late-night TV.
Well, it doesn't just have to be for women, mate. It can be for men as well.
That's true. I mean, I do yoga, after all, and yoga does have that reputation of a lot of people considering it to be a woman's-only thing. But this yoga I do, is great for, males and females.
Yeah, he showed them.
Yeah, take that. I'm just gonna waste some time while my bomb goes off. Swimming in lava, that's a really good exercise program,
It's just lukewarm to Samus right now. She don't feel it.
I want to see the FAQ for this exercise. I can't swim in lava without dying. Can I skip it? No.
It's like you go up and down and all around and boom, there's your power bomb tank acquired.
Good thing the floor grows in like that, if rock can grow in like that.
Yeah, organic floors. That's what they really were working on here in the BSL.
Well, I mean, they have organic suits and they have organic download missile data. At this point, I would not be surprised. Meanwhile, Adam's just waiting for us to get back to him. What the fuck is she doing? There's nothing there. Oh, there is something there.
He didn't know about the secret missile tank.
Well, they probably didn't tell the computer that, because otherwise the computer would want to go pick them up.
I believe there's a lot of Shine Spark sections coming up, so I hope you've been practicing.
Well, you've been doing it, so I've had no need to practice.
Yeah, that's Hell Dragon's mantra. Tom's gonna do it, so I don't have to. Just give you a second to stew there, since I know you have no retort to that.
Well, I have to stew because it's a super hot area, man.
Yeah, and you lack the Varia suit. Understandable.
Man, I am caramelizing down here. What's going on?
Wow, this is like Florida times 10.
No, give me a moment. There we go. Take this door. You won't make fun of me.
Going up.
Superman! Oh my gosh, he's still going. There we go.
Let's drop back down. And I believe you have to use the screw attack to get this one.
Good thing you waited till you got it, I guess.
The hardest part of syncing up different bits of footage from different takes is when there's a heat or sort of phase effect in the background.
And how would that make it difficult to sync up?
Well, obviously you've got to follow the wave so it doesn't suddenly jut into a different frame of animation.
Yeah, that's true. I can imagine where that would throw you off.
But sometimes I think you play dumb, so I have to answer these questions and we have stuff to talk about.
No, and then sometimes I legitimately don't know.
It's hard to tell when you're ignorant and when you're being intelligent, I'm gonna be honest.
Just pretend I'm usually the smartest guy around and you'll be fine.
Okay, master.
Well, less master and more like my lord.
No, I would rather not. I currently lack a fedora. Oh, it's grey, we're going to explore it.
There we go. I remember being so disappointed going here in the early game. Oh, I can't go here yet because I don't have the Various suit.
Be grey no longer, my son.
You know, I always expect that one to be a trap bat, but it's not.
Trap bat. The worst kind of bat.
Because it's just laying out everywhere. Ow!
Just looks impressive, really.
Well, good thing she has the helmet on, because otherwise she's gonna bash her brains out.
That was a very smeary kind of animation frame back there. Again, I hope you have no trouble taking the back road, because we can't talk to Adam right now, lest endgame begins.
Good thing you didn't blow a hole into space when you got this power up.
Samus! Samus! Samus!
Da 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 da. Showtime!
I'd love to hear a version of the Metroid theme, but like Metal Gearized.
That would be pretty neat, actually. Like, they should do that more often. They should make like music that sounds like, you know, music from other games, like that kind of musical style.
Speaking of Metal Gear, did you hear about that one doctor who's trying to perform a head transplant?
Yeah, I heard about that. What happened?
Well, I'm not sure if it's gone through yet, or if it's just like PR for Metal Gear Solid 5. It seems to be some kind of confusion right now, and you know, Hideo Kojima was let go from Konami, because Konami's a bunch of fucking idiots.
No argument there, definitely. Samus just looks at the viewer. So how are you enjoying the playthrough?
These guys are just talking about fuck all at this point, but it's okay because it's the end of the playthrough and most people have tuned out by this point.
I just hope you're not that stupid, viewer. Samus, wow, you're an asshole, and here we are trying to have fun. Ooh, trick shots.
That's particularly tricky. Speaking of tricky, this is a trick room. You gotta go through here. Do not use a power bomb, otherwise you will make certain barriers appear, and then you can't reach the energy tank at all.
Nah.
I wouldn't advise doing those eck noises that you do, because you're in America, you're in Florida, you're always about a second behind.
Yeah. That's typical of most Floridians, I think.
Well, it's because you spend so much time in that blazing heat that your reactions are just dull to the point of uselessness.
Yeah, that's how we conserve our energy. You know, when it gets really cold, we hibernate. Although, it barely gets cold in Florida, so that's why we live down here. No, it gets cold, but, you know, it doesn't get as cold. But anyway.
We're basically just going to be going about and, like, there's no story in this, we're just collecting upgrades. So anything else we can discuss, mate? We've got about 10 minutes to fill here.
10 minutes, huh? I guess I could just pretty much ask about how you think the game has gone so far compared to all the other, Metroid games you played. Like, give me more of your history with the game.
Oh, yeah, okay. Well, like I mentioned, Fusion was pretty much the first Metroid game I ever played. It was definitely the first 2D one, you know, no confusion there. Then I played Zero Mission. Then I think I played 2 on, like, the 3DS's Virtual Console. I've never played Super Metroid. I guess it was just because my mum never thought I'd be interested in that kind of game. You know, the cartoony mascots like Mario, Sonic. Thankfully not Bubsy, because, you know, my mum, quite strict, no fool. And, yeah, just never had a chance to play Super Metroid.
And you've never had a chance to play Bubsy either? Boy, you are missing out.
No, I played Bubsy 3D, sadly.
You've played 3D. I actually rented, I think, Bubsy 2 from, like, we used to have a grocery store chain down here. And they used to rent, like, you could get, like, a Sega Genesis game for, like, 2 days for a buck. And, you know, back then I was always asking my dad, hey, could you rent us video games from this thing, you know? And, you know, like you said, I didn't have a SNES, I had a Sega Genesis. I kind of wish I had an SNES now.
I had both.
Well, of course, you were lucky like that. Man, I got my Genesis from the fucking pawn shop, you know, and I think this was when the PlayStation was new. I think. But, you know, like I said, I did play, Metroid 2 on Game Boy, and I think I borrowed all the Metroid games up until that point. Like, I now have an actual copy of Fusion. I'll emulate it, of course, so I don't have to repeat the SAX stuff again.
Yeah.
But other than that, you know, and so as mostly as a result of these games, that I much prefer the you know, like when they do this kind of format with Castlevania. Aria Sara in particular was also a really good, you know, Castlevania game with this kind of format. So I kind of prefer those Castlevanias. I just like cool Metroidvanias overall, and I always like finding great new ones. Like, I'm always on the lookout for them.
This section is like some of the hardest to get optional upgrades in the game. It requires, you know, professional, expert-level use of shine sparking and such. You know, knowing when it runs out, knowing where you have to use it exactly. Otherwise, you're just going to get, like, cock-blocked by these disappearing blocks.
Well, that does really look kind of hard, I admit.
Now, a thing to know here is when you shine spark against this ramp, you'll keep running, and you'll have to use this to get, I believe, a missile expansion pack and a power bomb later on.
No, I've got it this time, hold up.
No, we're just taking the fancy way out, don't worry about it.
We're super cool like that.
We discussed, like, our origins with the Metroid franchise. Is that it for you? Have you never completed any of the Primes?
Well, I do have Metroid Prime Trilogy. Like I said, I got it for Christmas one year, but the problem is that, the problem I have with it, at least, is that it uses the Wiimote controls for all the games. Now, I know the third one, it was on the Wii, originally, and I'm glad to have that game in there, too. But at the same time, I've never been a huge fan of the Wiimote controls in a lot of games, really. So, it just feels awkward to play Prime like that. And another problem I have with Prime is that because of, like, the visor and everything, you feel really constricted. You know, like, you feel claustrophobic a little bit. At least that's my experience. So, I haven't really returned to that game. I should, but I honestly prefer 2D Metroids a lot more.
Well, I think that claustrophobic aspect really adds a lot to the game, but I like Prime 1. I like Prime 1 a lot. 2 is my favourite, Echoes. 3, I'm kind of lukewarm on. I guess it was going to all the different planets instead of just like focusing on one big one that did it. The story, they kind of tried to go a bit Fusion-esque, and I'm not really sure when the games came out. I think Fusion came first, but don't quote me on that. They tried to give it a bit more story, and I think to that degree I can kind of see where the people who criticise Fusion are coming from, because it kind of takes away from Samus's lone experience, but I think the last thing we can talk about in regards to the Prime games was that if you completed Metroid Fusion and linked it to Prime, the first Prime, I think you could actually unlock the Fusion suit to play Prime through with, or maybe that was the other way around. Let me actually look this up. Feel free to stall, Helldragon.
I'm pretty good at stalling on things I should be doing anyway. Samus, you're not supposed to be back here. What are you doing? No, Samus! Shooting up to back to the planet. Oh, wow. Neat trick. And now that we're all done with that... You can't tell me what to do. Except for all the times I've been listening to what you told me to do.
I'm a slave to the government.
I always love how the government in these games, they're the most overconfident fuckers in the world, and they think they can control these biological menaces in every fucking thing of sci-fi ever. The Thing, Alien, this game, shit like that.
Okay, I've got it here. To play the original NES Metroid game, you'll need to first have a saved game on Metroid Fusion where you've completed the game. Then you connect that to the GameCube using, the Game Boy Advance adapter, and the option to play Metroid will become available in the Metroid Fusion connection bonuses. And if you complete Prime, and connect that with a completed save file to Fusion, I believe, you can play through Prime again with the Fusion suit.
Ah, there we go. So yes, big, huge government conspiracy. They didn't want her to grow too powerful because they want to control her, and that's not cool.
She's basically a living weapon. Stop trying to pull that trigger, lest the gun turn on you.
Yeah, but like we said, the government in Metroid is super fucking stupid, especially in other games.
You're lucky Samus has a righteous streak, because she is well within her rights to turn around and twat you with a super missile right now.
I'm pretty sure if she put her mind to it, she could conquer a whole planet.
Have you seen the ending of Other M?
I have, yes.
Okay, spoilers. The government comes in and tries to basically retcon everything they've done away. That's it. The government is the person who takes down the final boss in that game.
Yeah, and that final boss was also pretty fucking lame, if I can mention another spoiler, if I may. Let's take Mother Brain, put her in an android, and control that, and give the android super strength and agility. This won't fuck up at all!
It's like, I am really, really trying to go out of my way to not bash Overrun, but that and Fusion are kind of linked, so, you know, there's sometimes I can't avoid it. Adam, what are you doing, mate? Open the doors.
I gotta go to the bathroom. I'm not going in here.
I haven't got the ventilation upgrade yet. Use the name.
You should have used my model number. I respond to that. He's a guy. He's a boy.
Is this an older boy? What would this older boy advise you to do right now?
I better not be seeing you going around with older boys. Yes he would, actually.
That's another thing I have to comment on here. This game paints like Adam as like this kind of stern but reasonable authority figure, and in Overrun he's kind of a prick, really.
Yeah, like they just totally reversed everything that happened in Fusion. And another question. Well, we'll find out more about this later, but I'll bring it up then. But still, like it completely contradicts each other, and it's just ridiculous.
So, put it closer to the planet, maybe?
Well, something's gotta blow up, otherwise I'm not gonna be happy. He chose poorly.
There you go. Now he's seeing sense, this robot machine guy thing.
Well, he must have an organic brain, thus he can be, convinced.
Oh, I never actually thought of that.
It is possible, yeah. But that's totally radical. Can we do that?
I think the line's coming up. There we go. Any objections, lady?
I have several, but I'll do it anyway.
I have several questions.
Yeah, we'll have to bring that up next time, though.
In the finale of Metroid Fusion. We'll see you all then.